I'm going to show you the best and worst pets in Grow a Garden using a tier list. We're going to go through every single pet. I'm going to explain to you why it's good or why it's bad. We're going to rank them from S to D, S being the best, D being the worst. When I put pets in these categories, the ones on the left are the best in that category, and on the right will be the worst. So from left to right is best to worst as we go in here. So let's start with D category. The best of the D category is the Echo Frog. So the Echo Frog, every about 10 minutes, causes a random plant to advance growth by 24 hours. It's really not helpful. Anything that makes plants grow faster is just generally not that great. And that puts Frog behind Echo Frog because it's the same thing, but it's every 20 minutes instead. I mean, it's kind of nice if you're trying to grow like coconut plants or something that takes a ton of watering cans to grow, or it takes an insane amount of time to grow, but it's very niche. It's not very helpful. Caterpillar is also in there. It's not as good as Echo Frog. Leafy plants grow 1.65 times faster. Again, plants growing faster, it's not really that helpful. Cow is also here right after that. And cow makes it so plants in a small area will grow 1.12 times faster around the cow randomly. Again, plants growing faster is generally not helpful in this game for making money for any real purpose whatsoever. Then we have the sea otter is right here. And the sea otter is all right, but it's basically a random watering can on random plants. But the problem is most of the time it's going to go on plants that are already grown and don't need a watering can. So it basically does nothing most of the time. But it could be helpful if it does happen to water things that take a long time to grow. But again, kind of useless. Next is the brown mouse. So this one increases the player's jump height by 10%, which is really not that important in a game like this, like at all. The other thing it does is it randomly gains 750 bonus experience every 8 minutes, which is kind of nice if you're trying to just trade it in order to upgrade your pet slots or something like that. But it's not like a super common egg, and it's not a common thing. So, like, it's hard to get just for that purpose. That's really its only purpose, is just to trade it in because it levels up kind of faster. Then, after that, we have the gray mouse, which instead increases your movement speed by 10%, which is even more useless in a game like this. And it does the same XP bonus thing, but it's less XP. It's 500 XP instead of 750. Then there's the bunny and the black bunny. They are pretty much worthless. They eat carrots and make them sell for 1.5 times more, but carrots are worthless, so basically nothing happens. They're completely garbage, in my opinion. Then we have the spotted deer followed by the deer. They make berry plants have a chance to stay when harvested, so just strawberries and blueberries as far as I'm aware. 5% chance for spotted, 3% for normal deer. Both those are worthless because those plants are worthless. Those are early game plants. You're not really going to make any money from that. By the time you even have these pets, you're going to have way more money. You're not going to be dealing with strawberries, blueberries anymore. Now we get to C tier where the pets are actually useful for something. So at the top of C tier, so the best of C tier is actually the panda. Because if you follow my money strat where we use a lot of bamboo along with other plants, bamboo can be worth a lot. If you get a mutation or a golden bamboo and then it gets hit by a meteor, that thing can have a base value of like, 10 million or 15, 20 million or something like that. So in the mid game, it's super nice if you end up lucky and with a panda because it will eat random bamboo and sell it at a markup. So if you wait till your bamboo's grown and been hit by a meteor, then throw it on your panda and just leave it for like a day or two, it'll slowly harvest all that bamboo and sell it for a lot more. So kind of just a passive income boost, but really not that great compared to just doing it manually and just, growing more plants over time. But it's definitely better than the D tier ones. Then we have the monkey. It's just a passive income boost. When you sell fruit, there's a chance that it'll give it back to you and you can just sell it again. So you just make more money over time on average. Rare fruits have a lower chance, so it like barely makes more money. But if you have one sitting out, then you just make more money in the long run. Just money boost. Dog is super nice, but it's not as good as the other dog. That's why it's in C tier. So dog randomly digs up seeds, has a 5% chance every minute to dig up seeds, I think it was. And those seeds can be anything. They're usually bad seeds like carrots and stuff, but you can get seeds like bean stalks, cacao plants, things like that. So that small chance makes the dog extremely nice. Then we have the rooster followed by the chicken. So the rooster increases egg hatch speed by 20%, which is very nice if you like hatching eggs. It's not great for making money. It's great if you're just focused on the pet side of things. The chicken is not as good. It's the same thing, but increases by 10%, so it's just a lesser rooster. Rooster's better. Chicken's also the same thing if you want to grow eggs faster, just not as good. Then we have the orange tabby followed by the cat. So these are nice, and they would be really good if there was nobody to control them, but the problem is they roam around, and they randomly stop every so often for 15, 10 seconds. It depends. The orange one's better than the normal one for all the timers, but basically stop for a small period of time, and if a new fruit happens to grow, in that radius while they're napping, it'll grow 1.5 times larger. So you can kind of force it. You see them go to sleep and you immediately try to put down sprinklers and grow around them and stuff, but it's just like, it's really hard to use in any good way. But it isn't very nice. Like if you could do it on command, he'd be like up in A, but because you have no control over it, it's going to be down in C. The last of C tier is going to be the hedgehog. This makes prickly fruit grow like 1.5 times larger, something like that, which is nice. The issue is there's not many prickly fruits in the game. There's cactus, and I'm not even sure what else, so it's kind of niche. It's decent, but it's just like not that applicable compared to like most of the fruits. It's not going to apply anything to them. Starting with the best of B tier is the raccoon. So the raccoon every 15 minutes will duplicate a crop from another player's plot and give it to you, which could be insane, and the majority of the time will be terrible. So if you happen to be in a lobby with players who have fruits that are worth billions of shekels, then you might get lucky. The chances are, even those people who have those, they also have lots of fruits in their garden that are not good, and statistically, you almost never are going to get anything good. It's just a passive income boost, but there's that chance that you can win the lottery and get like $1 billion fruit duplicated from somebody. So that's why it's really good, but it's like overall not that great. After that is the blood kiwi. So this is another one if you like pets and hatching, because every 60 seconds, it'll decrease the highest remaining hatch time of any egg by 45 seconds and increases hatch speed by 20 seconds. So it's really good for anyone who wants to do that. Then after that, we actually have the golden lab, which is nice because it's an easy egg. It's a common egg. So the golden lab is basically a better version of the dog. It's a 10% chance on the same cycle to be able to get a random seed. So if you just have like 3 or more golden labs, then you just go AFK and every little bit moves so it doesn't kick you out of the game. And before you know it, you'll have beanstalk seeds and all sorts of different things. Even though it's a really low chance, they do it so often that you end up with good seeds. Then actually we have the pig. So the pig's super nice. It's hard to use correctly, but what you do is you just watch the pig and you have sprinklers ready and seeds ready. And if the pig stops in a good spot, it'll for 15 seconds make it so anything that grows around it will have double the chance of mutation. So you literally watch it. The second it does it, you throw down some sprinklers as fast as you can, and then pick something like bamboo or something, and you just plant them as fast as you can till the pig is done. And then you get double the chance of getting a golden or a rainbow or something like that. And the real money's in mutation. So if you do it right, you can actually make a ton of money with the pig. Then after that, we have the giant ant and the red giant ant. They do a little bit of different things, but the general idea is that certain fruits and plants have a chance of duplicating when you harvest them. So, and rarer ones have less of a chance. So it's just passive income boost. So they're not always going to work that great, but you just have them out, you harvest things, and on average, in the long run, you make more money. Then we have the kiwi, and so this one's just a crappier version of the blood kiwi. So the kiwi, it only decreases the hatch time by 25 seconds whenever it activates, and it does not do the overall 20%, decrease of time like the blood kiwi. So just nice for people doing pets, but that's not nearly as good as the blood kiwi or anything like that. Then after that, we have the blood hedgehog, which is way better than the other hedgehog, but still it only applies to prickly fruit. So they actually have a higher chance of getting mutations, which is where the real money's at. But again, it only applies to prickly fruit, which there's not that many prickly fruits in the game right now. Now it's time for A tier. The best A tier is the turtle. So the turtle makes sprinklers last 20% longer, which is super nice if you're trying to make money using the methods I've shown on this YouTube, because then the sprinklers last longer, so you have enough time to put down one of each sprinkler and get all the seeds down that you want. This really helps mobile players because it's a lot harder to plant things quickly and accurately, and you need more time. So it just makes sprinklers much more effective and useful when trying to make a ton of money. Then after that, we have the squirrel. This is just another passive helpful one. When you plant seeds, there's a 2.5% chance that the seed will refund to your inventory after you plant it. So if you get lucky and you plant, like, say, a beanstalk and you get that seed back, that's going to be super nice. The odds are low, but it's just passively going to help you out to get more rare plants in your garden faster in the long run. Then we have the praying mantis. This one is a variation of the pig. The pig actually only applied to fruit. This one does the same thing as the pig, but it does it with crops. So same thing as the pig. You wait and eventually have a circle around it for like 15 seconds, and then you can throw on some sprinklers, plant some bamboo or whatever, or crops, and then they'll have a higher mutation rate, a 1.5 mutation rate. So if you try to do it correctly, you can actually use this, and it's super helpful. Then after that, we have the mole. This one's niche, but it's also extremely nice. So every so often, I forget the time, 2 minutes or something, 5 minutes, 15, I can't remember. The mole will dig up either shekels or it'll dig up a random tool. So what's really useful is that it can get Master Sprinkler's favorite tools, and most importantly, there's actually a chance it can get a night staff, which is going to be really helpful for getting the lunar event done. But the sprinklers are also super nice. So just a nice passive way of getting rare sprinklers and things every once in a while. Then we have the Silver Monkey. So this one has an 8% chance of refunding crops when you sell them. I think rare crops are less likely. But the thing that makes the Silver Monkey insane, this affects stacks. It also stacks the monkey, but you might as well have silver monkeys instead. And so if you just have a bunch of silver monkeys, you just make more money in the long run by a decent amount, actually. Because you'll actually get big, like, valuable crops refunded every once in a while and just double up that money. Now we have S tier. Now I'm going to do S tier in reverse order here. So the worst of S tier is going to be the normal owl. So the normal owl makes it so all your pets gain an extra, I think, 0.2 XP per minute or second, whatever it was. So basically your pets level up faster. Then we have the night owl, which does the same thing as the owl, but just slightly more. Instead of 0.2, it's like 0.22 to 0.25 or something. So basically the same thing, just very slightly better. Then after that, we have the snail. The snail's insane. The snail gives you a 5% chance, additional chance, to get seeds when you harvest your plants, which is really nice when you're harvesting beanstalks, moon plants or whatever, the candy plants. I don't know if it works for event plants or not, but beanstalks or cacao or something, that you have a higher chance of getting more seeds. So you can keep getting more of those plants faster. It really helps because, like, it's hard to get the initial seed, but if you have snails, then you can keep getting subsequent seeds faster. Next up is the polar bear. So this one, every so often, I forget the timing, every few minutes, it will pick a random fruit or crop and it will make it either chilled or frozen. So basically just starts making all your plants worth more money in the long run. And frozen, I think, is a multiplier of like 5x price or something like that. So it increases your money, but it's really nice because you can get that. It'll stack with the celestial. It'll stack with, blood, all these different things. So it could turn a crop from being worth, say, 10 million to being worth, 50 million or something like that. I don't know if it multiplies quite like that, but, it really makes a big difference. Then there's a chicken zombie. This is a vet one. Almost none of you are going to have this one, but if you had it, every 30 minutes, it will have a 20% chance for a nearby fruit to become zombified, which makes it worth more money, and it also increases egg hatch speed by 10%. So kind of a compromise between the two things. Zombified makes plants worth, I think, 20 times more. So it can just make your plants worth more. It makes your eggs hatch faster. It's just kind of a combo pet. And then after that, we have the red fox. This one is amazing. With the red fox, you are so lucky because the red fox every so often will randomly steal a seed from another player's crops. So if you are in a server where there's players around who have super rare plants, then the fox will randomly steal them and have a reasonable chance of getting a beanstalk seed. I don't know if it can do event plants. I don't think it can. But, get cacao or get whatever, get one of those. So you can, especially if you get one early, if you're lucky enough to get one relatively early, you can end up with a lot more beanstalk seeds, cacao seeds, etc. Then we have the blood owl. This is the best version of the owl by a lot. So if you are into hatching pets and getting all the pets leveled up and things, the blood owl makes them gain 0.5 to 0.6 more XP per second, which is more than double of the night owl. So it's just going to make your pets level up, or age, I guess, way faster, get all that done way faster. It's an amazing pet to get. You can get it during the blood moon events at night, and it costs, I think, like 60 million or something, but in the end game, it is super nice. And that leaves us with the best pet of them all, the golden dragonfly, or just the dragonfly, I think it's called. So the dragonfly makes it so every 5 minutes, one random crop will turn to gold. And that's like a 50x multiplier, I think. I can't remember, but it basically, you have a dragonfly and you just like hang around your farm and just, stay AFK for a while. Before you know it, all your crops are worth 50 times more money. So it just makes, it's an unbelievable money maker. It's currently the only divine pet in the game, I think. The only pet that is that rarity. And as far as I'm aware, it's just going to be, as far as I know and understanding this, it's the best pet that you can have. And when I made this video, these were all the pets in the game. This is like May 23rd, 2025 when I made this. So there'll be more in the future, I'm sure. And some of these were event pets like the blood hedgehog and the chicken zombie and all these things. There's a few in here that are event: blood kiwi, blood owl, night owl. I'm not sure how many of these will return, how many will stay and never actually go away. But yeah, just be aware some of these are event only, and you may miss your chance to get them. If you're watching in the future, they may not be in the game anymore, be available to get anymore. But hopefully this helped you out, guys. So if you were not sure which pets to use, if you have a lot of these but you didn't know which ones you should be using, hopefully this was able to guide you towards which pets to use in Grow a Garden.